You got to play with Kobe his rookie year, and you said you knew he was going to be great from the start.
I did.
So here's a clip we found from both of you in 1997.
Man. This is my man. This is my man. This is Showboat. We call him Showboat, but y'all know him as Kobe Bryant. This is my main man. I feel like a father, though. I mean, this is my boy. I mean, we play together. We sit on the bench by each other. We're always talking. Then when I look at, you know how you go down in the locker room and they list everybody's age, not the age, but their date of birth, and I see 78. And I'm like, I'm twice as old as this kid, you know. But this kid right here, mark my words. Now, and I said this earlier in the season, it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, and I'm not saying that because he's here. I see him every day in practice.
I'm going to slide him a couple $100
I see him every day in practice. I see how this kid works. I see how he, after practice, how he's still in the gym before practice. I know he goes to Pacific Palisades and shoot in their gym after school. He is just a tremendous talent.
It's a great clip. So Kobe gave you a shout out in his Mamba Mentality book, mentioning how much he learned from you. What was it like for you the first time you faced off against him in practice?
Oh, in practice?
Yeah.
It was like, whoa. I mean, I've played against some 18-year-olds when I was 25 and 26 and 19 and 20-year-olds, but at that time I'm 35, 36, and this 18-year-old kid gets the ball, and I was like, oh my God. You know, I mean, he went around me, and then Coop could tell you the same thing. He went around Coop, you know, when
Coop was
no,
playing?
but Jerry West brought Coop in.
Oh, to see what
he could do, but he brought when they brought Kobe in for a workout.
Yeah,
they called Coop.
Oh, yeah. And Coop was a defensive.
So Coop guarded him and was like, man, this kid. I was like, you know, and Coop was older, but Coop was still like, man, this kid's gonna be unbelievable. and I just, you know, Junior, I had a chance, like I said on the clip, that I was with him every day.
So you could see it.
You could just, I mean, you know, Stevie Wonder could have saw it, man. I'm telling you, the dude every day would be in the gym shooting before the lights were on, because I would go to the gym early, you know, because I was 36, and I would come there to just, you know, warm up and stretch. You know what I'm talking about? I had to get there early, and I would hear the ball bouncing, and I would look out there, and I went in, I was like, Gary B, man, tell him to turn the lights on. You know, I said, how long has he been here? Oh, he was here waiting for me when I got here, and that was the trainer.
Yeah.
You know, so I saw his work ethic, you know, and I saw how he was on the bench, how he would, you know, ask me questions about the game and how would you guard this guy, and he was always thinking about basketball, you know, so I knew he was going to be great. I just knew it from day one.
So you were on Undisputed a couple weeks ago with me and Skip Bayless.
Yep.
And we asked you the question about the Lakers because they're still looking for a damn coach.
Right.
Who should be the coach of the Lakers? And you said, well, LeBron James should coach the Lakers.
Right.
Still looking for a coach. Do you still feel that today that LeBron should coach the Lakers?
Well, you know, I mean, I said that I was serious, but I wasn't serious.
Of course.
You know, because obviously they can't do that.
Yeah, rules,
you know?
and stuff.
But to this day, at this particular time, I'm still, you know, I'm a big Mark Jackson fan. Still not sure why. I got an idea that he hasn't gotten an opportunity to coach in this league again. But the name that I keep hearing now, which I was very excited about, is Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell was a great player in this league for a number of years. He's been an assistant coach for a number of years. He's never got that opportunity. And if you look at every squad he's been with, Keyshawn, as an assistant coach, they've been pretty successful. You know, so he's had his hand in there. You know, you can ask Doc Rivers, who I saw the other day. We was talking about Sam. You know, he knows the game extremely well. The players respect him. He's got a pedigree from that bench on being on championship caliber teams. So without a doubt to me, is that they just at least bring him in and give him an interview. So Sam Cassell would be somebody who I would take very seriously.
So as you know, being a part of the Lakers family, organization, whatnot, working in television, the name that keeps popping up, obviously, right, is J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick, because he has a podcast with LeBron James. So obviously people start trying to connect the dots. And J.J. hasn't come out and said, I'm not interested. And LeBron barely came out and said, I'm not involved in the search. How you being a former head coach, former coach of the year, gone to the championship twice, an assistant coach that set his butt down for a little bit to understand how to coach. How difficult is it, though, Byron, to be a head coach in the NBA without any, just coming off the streets, essentially, and coaching the team without any, you didn't sit on the bench. Sam Cassell sat on the bench before. J.J. Redick has not. How difficult would that be?
Ask Steve Nash. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No coaching experience. It is very to me. You know, if you really want to be a head coach in the NBA, you got to sit behind the bench because that 6 inches over is a huge decision to make. But being on the bench and kind of seeing everything that's happening out there, seeing the coaches, giving your advice, listening to the head coaches and other assistant coaches is invaluable. But coming out of the streets, just jumping in on that seat, that's a hot seat. And it's even hotter here in LA. So JJ, he has obviously basketball experience, played in the NBA, had a long career and things of that nature. But you still need some type of experience, and sitting behind a bench or sitting on a bench, for a year or two will never hurt anybody.
See, and I could be wrong, but I don't ever remember a first-time head coach with no sitting on the bench experience thriving and having success. Right. I mean, I can go to Jay Kidd in Milwaukee, basically off the streets, to go coach Milwaukee, but it wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't what they wanted.
Right.
At the end of the day. I mean, obviously Giannis, it wasn't what they expected.
Right.
Then he got a little, got the experience, and then he became, obviously, we see him now with Dallas as a much better head coach. And I know a lot of people will point to Steve Kerr and say, oh, Steve Kerr. I'm like, but Steve Kerr was in the front office. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
He was talking to the coaches on a daily basis.
And
players on a daily basis, opposed to coming out of off the streets or coming out of the booth like a JJ would.
Right.
So different.
Yeah, when you in the front office, you got a really good idea and feel for what's going on with your team in that organization. When you're coming off the street, you have no idea. So you going in with blinders on because you have no clue what's really going on. Now, you can listen to other people and they can tell you what's happening in the organization, but if you're not in the organization, you're not really still not going to get that sense of what's going on. So I still believe, like you just said, Steve Kerr came from the front office, but if you look at everybody else who's been successful, Jay Kidd was in Brooklyn first.
Yeah.
Then he goes to Milwaukee. Then now you look
Brooklyn,
at him now.
I meant Brooklyn, not Milwaukee.
But he had both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now look at how he's learned and where he's got the Dallas Mavericks at now. I mean, that experience and that time is invaluable, for any coach, young or old. So again, bringing somebody in off the street, and I'm not saying JJ is coming off the street, but we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
JJ having no experience whatsoever, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to not only lead this organization, any organization, but when you're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, we're talking about a team and an organization that thrives on winning championships. So you coming in with even more added pressure. Somebody like a Sam Cassell who's been around for this 20 plus years probably as an assistant coach. He's seen everything.
Yeah.
So that's 6 inches over.
It's his time.
Yeah, that 6 inches over ain't gonna phase him.
So when you look at it, do you think LeBron was in Cleveland for the playoff game the other day. Mm-hmm. Some people would think that he's trying to send a message to people saying, look at me, I'm here, you better do what I need you to do. Do you think he plays in LA? He ends his career as a Laker?
I think so. I really do. I think so. I think if he, LeBron is very, very into the history of NBA basketball. I think he knows that you want to kind of leave your legacy here.
Yeah.
This should be your last stop. Jumping around to another team, I think it kind of tarnishes your legacy a little bit.
If he stays in LA, should and will his son join him in a Laker uniform? Should he, number one, and would he, number two?
I think number two, would he? Yes. Should he? I don't know. I think it would be great for LeBron and Bronny to be there together because I know that's his dream is to play with his son. And I think after he does that, he'll probably ride off in the sunset. I know Bronny, in the NBA compounds did a lot better than a lot of people thought, that he would. But been watching this kid from high school, watching him at SC. Bronny got some game. He got a lot to learn, and I would love for him if I was involved with him in any way, as an advisor or anything, I would have said, stay in college one more year. Stay there one more year. But, young man wants to fulfill his dream too. He wants to get to the NBA, and, I hope he does. And I hope LeBron gets his wish to be able to play with his son. Now, if it's going to be in a Laker uniform or not, I don't know yet.
We absolutely hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more from us, hit that subscribe button for all videos, full episodes, and exclusive content from the show. And don't forget to find All Facts, No Breaks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.